Hello everyone, welcome to the roleplay update for Sinking Ship Survival. There's a lot of things to cover, and I'm also going to be covering how to get the new Captain Lantern for those with the Game Pass. That's limited time only, by the way. So the first thing I'd like to cover, which many of you may notice when you load the game, and it's raining in the game, is the chat system. So you can now, if I go on the ship, you now have a prompt chat system. So as many of you may know, Roblox recently added a chat update. So you can no longer talk to people who are outside of like your age range and things, and there's all this face verification stuff. So according to their rather vague guidance, prompt chats are allowed. So we've added a new roleplay prompt chat system to fit around that, so you can talk with anyone in the chat, and that is separate from kind of the normal chat. So if you say something here, it will appear in the chat, but it appears as a roleplay chat and it's grey, so you can kind of differentiate the two. But that you can use this to communicate with anyone on the ship whenever, and you have a massive variety of things you could. Well, I'd say that, but you kind of run out of things you can. You have a lot of choice: greetings, small talk, roles. I should note as well the role-specific things for officers and things. That's kind of like, oh yeah, you can board this lifeboat, or women and children only, things like that. So it really is specific for the role play, and you'll be able to see that for yourself. So now moving on to role tips. So this is something kind of small which I added. Now for any team you're on, you can just click this button and you'll get a tip on what you could do. So now the main thing, the captain changes. So captain is now limited to one player. You can see that here. We've removed co-captain. This was a change I've been wanting to do for quite a long while, because I think typically in servers you'd have like 5 captains sometimes, and well, them being co-captains, some of them. But of course, on Ocean Liners, you had captain, then chief officer or first officer. It never really was co-captain. I believe that's more of a military thing, or Wilhelm Gustloff thing when you have like 10,000 on a ship. But anyways, so now you can select captain, and there's just captain roles. You don't have co-captain or anything. Please note as well, I've received some feedback about this. Of course, if you're waiting ages to become a captain in a big server, it's not always ideal. So we may add more perks to the captain game pass as time goes on to make it more viable. When you pick the captain role, you don't just get stuck with it. You don't have that entirely. Every round, when a round starts, so if I just reset the game now. Okay, so here we are. So captain selection. So you can opt in or out, and if you were selected as captain last time, you can't serve again. So there we are, we're the only person to sign up, so we've been given a chance. So let's pick senior captain. So yeah, that happens every round. Someone is selected. Yeah. And also, so exclusive lanterns. So you can get this if you're selected as a captain in any server. So it can be a private or public server. You just need to be selected before the round begins. And if you are selected, you can get yourself a navigator's lantern and the captain badge. So I thought this was just kind of a little tip off for those who played the game when co-captain existed, I guess. Kind of a little thank you, I suppose. And this is only limited time. This will only be around for about a month, maybe a bit less. Who knows? I'll let you know. I'll have an announcement in the description and things when it's going to be gone. Yes. And finally, we've got the megaphone. The megaphone has been updated and much improved. So there's things for specific times during the voyage. So you've got port orders, sailing orders, sinking things, lifeboat operations, etc., etc. Kind of like the chat in a way. you've even got save the ship. So you can now have much more specific orders for your crew throughout the voyage to really, get them doing their jobs, like inspecting tickets and things, or a boat drill. I don't know. So yeah, we've intended to really improve the captain role to make it more exclusive, so there's not a bazillion captains. But then as well, there is a lot of waiting around. So I might recommend some of you to go to a smaller server to have a better chance of being chosen as a captain, I guess. But yeah, I think that concludes the update. Fair bit to cover. In terms of the revamp, some of you saw, I think, last upload. That is still in the works. I kind of worked in this game, kind of got a lot in real life going on, so I can't really do too much at the moment, especially when it comes to big update. But I wanted to get something small out, relatively small out, and also to address the new chat update just to make the game a bit more fun. But thank you very much for watching. I'll see you around. Goodbye.